Hello, McFluffy52 here, back with some more Lost Caverns of Ixalan action, and today we're playing yet another Reanimator deck. Please forgive me, this will be the last one for a little while. I know we've done several Reanimation decks in a row, but today I think this one's super cool and kind of inspired, or I realized it after watching a Mono Black Magic, very cool content creator. If you've not subscribed to them already, I definitely recommend them, but that's besides the point. I saw them doing this sort of in Historic, but I thought, well, we can do that in Standard, especially with some of the new cards that we have. And what am I talking about? I'm talking about Mass Reanimate with some of the new cards and the Lich-Knight's Conquest. This card was one of the cards I was super excited for when Eldraine came out, but I tried it out and it felt kind of lackluster in Standard. It turned into maybe reanimate 2 creatures slowly, whereas like you could just play any other reanimation spell and just get your creature back normally without having to pay any extra cost. But I think it's gotten a lot better with the addition of a few new cards. Those new cards include Saheeli's Lattice. This is basically the entire idea of the deck encapsulated. I can't speak. You get the idea. The idea of the deck is to play these kind of draw discard cards that stick around that are artifacts or enchantments. So Saheeli's Lattice is a good example of this. It's an artifact that says when it enters the battlefield, you may discard a card. If you do, draw 2 cards. So this helps us to put those reanimation targets into the graveyard and churn through our library to hopefully find a Lich-Knight's Conquest. Now, another really good one that we have in the deck, or well, got new from Lost Caverns of Ixalan, is Brass's Tunnel Grinder. This is discard any number of cards, draw that many cards, +1, and then it has a little payoff. If we continuously discard permanent cards, we will put these board counters on it because we'll be descending, and then it flips into this land that has a really good payoff. Whenever you cast a permanent spell using the mana from it, you're going to go ahead and discover X, where X is that spell's mana value. So that can help us out a lot. Now, the last kind of new card I think we're playing here is Terror Tide. This card is really nice in this deck because, well, it's a sweeper in black. Now, there's a build around, which is you have to be playing a lot of permanents, because it says Fathomless Descent. Sorry, I can't speak today. All creatures get -X until end of turn, where X is the number of permanent cards in your graveyard. Well, if you take a look at it, we're playing a bunch of creatures that we want to reanimate. We're playing a bunch of permanent artifact or enchantments that are hoping to sack to Lich-Knight's Conquest. And we're playing a bunch of lands that we'll probably end up discarding if we draw into too many. Those are a lot of permanents that can actually turn this Terror Tide into a pretty formidable sweeper for if we need to clean up the board, because, well, reanimation can be a little bit slow because you got to get a bunch of things in your graveyard and then you have to find the reanimation spell. So this can help us survive potentially against those aggro decks, or just when we're drawing a little bit slower. So that's the idea of the deck. I would like to shout out one card here. Bringer of the Last Gift is a really cool card, and when I say that, like, we're going to be putting our graveyard onto the battlefield, this would be a good card to do that. But the problem for me is that this is 8 mana and you have to cast it. It says 8 mana, 6/6 flying. It's new from Lost Caverns of Ixalan. When it enters the battlefield, if you cast it, each player sacrifices all other creatures they control, and then each player returns all creature cards from their graveyard that weren't put there this way to the battlefield. So it's kind of living death on a 8 mana flying 6/6 demon. So it's really cool, but it's a little bit harder to pull off. Let's go ahead, quit yapping, and head into some games. If you enjoy these types of videos, consider subscribing, all that good stuff. Yeah, the deck list should be in the description, so you can check out that. Feel free to ask questions in the comments if you have any, or provide suggestions, or if I missed something, feel free to let me know. I'm not the best player. This is a little heads up. I'm not the best player, and so I will probably make mistakes. So I like try and keep learning to play the game better, but all right. Kept his hand because we have like several draw discard. Another good draw discard here, Scrapbook Mutt. Oh, I forgot to go over all the kind of reanimation payoffs. Well, we have a bunch of different ones. The idea is that we reanimate a bunch and we can potentially win on the spot because we have those Immodane's Recruiters, which give our team haste when it enters the battlefield. kind of the backup plan. You are playing the new Galta. I forgot about this. It's a really nice card for reanimation because it can help you get whatever is in your hand onto the battlefield. We are drawing a boatload of lands. Oh, okay. Well, we managed to face an opponent that has graveyard hate. Let's just go next. There's no reason to play this out. I had a comment in a previous video talking about the like reanimation decks are really cool, but the problem is that there's so much good graveyard hate going around, and I responded to them and I was like, that is absolutely right. There's a lot of good cards like Lord Skitter, there's a Graveyard Trespasser, there's a ton of graveyard hate that can just, particularly in like Esper Legends, I guess, or black with the Graveyard Trespasser that you can run into potentially, but I had managed to dodge it all the way up until then. You can see it is very problematic. They would have had graveyard, or the hearse, which would have just been able to eat away at our graveyard. We would have had to discard instantly and then instantly reanimate it, but, or on the same turn. Instantly is not a great way of describing it. I want to discard a land here, but it's not like I'm going to be able to play Galta anyways. Okay, we have our reanimation spell, we have a sweeper, but I think I'm playing 24 lands. I swear I'm playing 24 lands, but maybe I'm tripping. Is this card good? I've been seeing a lot of it. The backup plan is we do have Saheeli's Lattice, which we can craft with dinosaurs. So we can craft it with like our Galta and make it a 12/4. Just randomly. My goodness, this draw is horrendous. The funny thing is I actually had a pretty good record in ranked with this deck prior to our prior to this. I was 3-1. I played more of the deck, I think in the play queue or something, test it previously, but opponent's playing mono blue, so this is another really bad matchup because again, reanimation, you're kind of getting rid of all your good stuff and putting it in your graveyard and hoping to be able to get it back, which isn't great. I guess we could have done that on our turn originally. Bounce. Okay, opponent's playing a mono blue tempo deck. That's not a great matchup for us, I don't think. We could craft with Saheeli's Lattice, but I think we just wait. Waiting for the Haughty Djinn to come. Haughty Djinn would be a 3-mana 6/4 flyer that discounts their spells. Very nice. We do love that here. Counter spell. I mean, if they counter it, it's another permanent in our graveyard is the upside. Yep. I don't think there's anything we can do here. I think we're just dead. So they just play like a bunch of draw, discard, and fill up their graveyard, and we take a bunch of damage in the air. You're telling me you didn't have more like ways to fill up your graveyard? It's absurd. I have no way to fill up my graveyard either at this point, honestly, so I could sacrifice and get back my one thing. I could sweep the thing, but I think we're just dead here. That's very unfortunate. I was really hoping we'd have some good wins here at the beginning because I was trying to make this video short since it's a holiday here in the US. Happy holidays to everyone all my fellow Americans. Alright, alright. Let's see. Can we get a matchup where we don't get our like a kind of counter and we don't get a kind of questionable hand? I should have mulliganed those two previous hands. This hand is amazing. Well, I'll probably eat my words eventually, but this hand is pretty good. We have a bunch of draw discard. Opponent's playing Naya humans, so they're going to be very fast. I think I might play Blood Tithe Harvester. We're playing two Blood Tithe Harvesters because it's kind of the best 2-drop in the colors. And it also has a token artifact which we can sacrifice to help us reanimate. And it also acts as like removal. So, you know, kind of win-win-win. Opponent is playing 5-color humans or 5-color legendaries. I'm just going to make sure this thing dies. We play Saheeli's Lattice, discard a Tali, draw 2. Ugh, Black Cleave Cliffs is not what we want to see. Terror Tide is nice. They're probably playing a Jetmir deck. Or not Jetmir. 5-color dude. What is his name? Cascades on legendaries. I'm out of the loop today. Not good. Alright, yeah, this is not exactly what you want to see in your hand. Nothing good to discard here. Terror Tide should work pretty well, though I think Melira doesn't help. Or Melira can save. From the sweeper, which is a little unfortunate. Zork and Goreclaw, that is one of the... This is a card that can give your creatures haste that I've been kind of neglecting. But it's a really good card. Brass's Tunnel Grinder, that is really nice. I think I'll play this land and then discard the Black Cleave Cliffs. And then next turn we can Brass's Tunnel Grinder really deep to hopefully find our reanimation spell. There's Jodah. It was something or other. Man, we're almost dead already though. It's crazy. Oh, Tali. We can get back a Tali and our Zork and Goreclaw. So that's something. Do we just go for it, or do we try and... Terror Tide, I don't have enough mana to do anything in Terror Tide. Actually, I can discard something with my blood token. And that will kill Melira, at least. Jodah might be able to murder us the next turn. Because he gets X plus X for each legendary. But yeah, I'm not discarding anything additional to reanimate. I think we just go here, sacrifice the 2 Saheeli's Lattices, and get back our Tali. This is not exactly what we want to be doing. Wait, I could have done 3 and got back Blood Tithe Harvester. That's my bad. That would have actually been good. Because I could have sacked the Blood Token and get back the Blood Tithe Harvester. At least something. Shauna, I will take a Shauna. I will take a Scrapwork Mutt. Probably can discard the Mountain here. Goreclaw is going to give creatures haste and +1 counters, which is cool. Not really what I want to be seeing, but... Okay, so I can swing in with everything. Is this threatening lethal? That's 17... No, it's not 17 damage. I can't add. So this isn't lethal. Could swing in with a Tali to just try and chunk them. And then use Scrapwork Mutt and Shauna as blockers. That sounds good. We didn't gain any life. We're not going to draw any cards. Also, we had no mana open for it anyways. Settle. That's bad. A Ruth. That is a nice legendary that I don't think people play enough of. Alright, how do we deal with this? This can do a lot of damage to our own board. It's not really what we want to be doing. I think just spin a bunch. We just need to go bigger. I think we spin this away as well. We get rid of the Tear Tide. I don't know if it's ever going to do any work here. Because if it sweepers our board, it also sweepers their board. Well, if it sweepers their board, it also sweepers our board. That's what I meant to say. We'll keep it for the time being and see what happens. Blood Tithe Harvester can help. Can play Takenuma. Could play this and pump my team and then try and swing in, but that's not really the idea here. Play Blood Tithe, I guess. Probably should have played Saheeli's. This does buff our Blood Tithe Harvester. I was gonna draw into a bunch of cards with this a Ruth, and then they're gonna cascade. Alright, well, as much as it pains me, I think I just pass turn here and hope we're doing okay. Tear Tide might be able to clean up the board here. Oh. No. They don't have enough mana to cast both, so they have to choose between the two. Airtie can kill like a Tali or Saruk. Whoops, I didn't mean to click here. That does give us another card. Their board is getting huge. That also puts a card in our graveyard because I don't think it exiles. No, Lisella makes everything exile. Or what is Lisa? Oh. I guess it's sort of Lisa. I don't know. Ouch. Our Tear Tide will clean up the board, but I think it also results in our entire board being exiled, which is a little unfortunate. I guess we can draw discard a little bit more if we want. We won't have enough to do that. I can crack one blood token here. No, I should have probably sacrificed Blood Tithe before this. Alright, we're just gonna do this. Target this, it doesn't really matter. Oh, that still gets exiled? That's unfortunate. Alright, well, sweep the board. Opponent can keep a creature, but I don't think any of their creatures stay big enough to kill me next turn. Unless they have another Jodah in hand, which would make sense. This gets around indestructible. It doesn't get around that is the only unfortunate thing. Oh, it's a 6/6 by itself. And they get their entire other suite of legendaries back because of Lisa. My goodness. My goodness. That's unfortunate. I swear this deck isn't this bad. I mean, we are playing Reanimator. It's a little all or nothing, but just a bit of variance to start the to start it all off. Okay, we can keep this hand. I think we have one draw discard that we can use to chump block and then draw discard even more. Love Scrapwork Nut. Black Cleave Cliffs. We could probably play the Haunted Ridge there. It doesn't really make too much of a difference. We were playing Jinya Taxius because it works pretty well. I think our opponent's playing Azorius Soldiers. But we're playing Jinya Taxius because it works pretty well. At Ooh, I like that. It works pretty well at stopping like interaction after you reanimate. Like if they don't have a counterspell for your reanimation spell, then it's gonna be hard for them to like sweeper the board if you don't have a way to give your team haste. I should not play that Sulphur Springs. I had Haunted Ridge. It's okay. We're just gonna discard pretty much everything here. Excuse me. Do we keep a land? We're gonna draw into a land in the next 7 cards. I like almost guarantee it. We almost missed, but we definitely did not. Alright, so we can Scrapwork Mutt away the Atali, maybe, and then Cruelty of Gix we can play through. And Cruelty of Gix is nice because it also searches for a card in the second chapter, so we can search for our mass reanimation if we want. Opponent actually playing Azorius Control, probably Azorius Control Mill, which is exciting, everybody's favorite. Go ahead, put this here. This will help us put something in our graveyard. Hoping there's no Denic. If they have a Denic at any point here, that just like shuts down the whole Wandering Emperor. Is this what we're against? Springlet. Oh, Azorius Artifact. I wonder if that card is unbanned yet. There's a card that unfortunately was, I guess, bugged with the set release that has been that I thought about making like a white black or a white red artifact brew, but I kind of stopped myself because I wanted to use the card. I can pay Ward 2 here if I really want. I'm using a Cruelty of Gix. Opponent, do they have a counterspell? They are playing blue, but let's get rid of something in their hand here first, because we can always search next turn. And okay, they do have a counterspell. I don't know why they didn't just counter the actual spell. Excuse me. Sorry for all the sneezing. Trying to prevent another sneeze here. I hate that feeling where you're like in between sneezing and not. Doesn't trigger their Patchwork Automaton. I need some like mass discard here. I know what we're gonna grab. I guess we can just discard Golta, and then next turn we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things that we want to reanimate. And then Golta puts in Suruk and Goreclaw. Seems pretty good. Oh boy. We'll play the top land because we don't have anything better to do. Oh, we can also return a creature with Cruelty of Gix. No attacks. End turn. We'll probably return Golta so we can get Sapandrel and Suruk and Goreclaw down. That should be a very deadly combination. Gas Casket. Opponent finally drawing into some of the stuff they presumably want. Oh yeah, I forgot we flipped our thing, so we're gonna actually have a problem with our Lich-Knights Conquest. So I think the fact that we flipped the Cruelty of Gix should help. Maybe? Oh, we can just channel Sokazon. Do we want to stop the 5 damage here is the real question. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things that we want to return. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things here, but we're going to return one thing for free here, so we can block this without worrying about our well, assuming our thing resolves. This is gonna resolve because they didn't have another crab, I guess. I guess we can put a Scrapwork Mutt in. Gore Claw sees everything. Puts counters on them. Draw, discard. Oh, that would have been nice to get. Go ahead, sacrifice 1, 2, 3, 4 things here. We'll go ahead and get 4 things back. That was the only 4 things, so I guess it instantly did it. And opponent is going to concede. That is what we wanted to do. Massive reanimation there. Opponent really didn't do much, so it's not particularly a great example of a match, I guess, but still super satisfying to pull off whenever you get to do it. I'm never going to complain. Alright, let's see if we can do that one more time. If we can do that one more time, I'll be happy. That'll be my crowning holiday moment. Alright, draw, discard, I guess we'll keep. Hopefully we draw into some things that we want to toss. What is Monk 1203? Who is that in that icon? Is that Karn or is that Nissa? Or is it somebody else? I see a staff, so I'm gonna go probably Karn, because he also has like an orb. Maybe it's someone else. Awesome, that is exactly what we wanted to see, because that's exactly what we want to put in our graveyard, but our opponent might be playing things that can remove stuff from our graveyard. I mean, they have a land. Alright, we need more lands. And just to cast this Lich-Knight's Conquest turn 5, hopefully. Before our graveyard gets nixed. Get rid of one Lich-Knight's Conquest. Or they just get rid of Draw, Discard. Probably best to get rid of the Bitter Reunion. Interesting pick. We'll go ahead, discard Sproutwork Mutt because we can use it from our graveyard. My goodness, where is the lands? I need the lands. You can play Blood Tithe Harvester and then sack the blood token to get our Golden Maverick in the graveyard and try and find a land. Or we can just do this and this will dig deeper. Land, land, land. Thank you. Alright, we will play the Alright, let's do the thing that guarantees us the Lich-Knight's Conquest next turn, because that seems like a good idea. Play the tap land this turn, and then play the Sulphurous Wings. If we draw into another land, we would have been fine, but we can get all 3 of these things. There's the graveyard. Bye bye, Atali. You're the chosen one. I'm gonna hover the Scrapwork Mutt, pretending like I care about it. Don't think about it. Yes, Scrapwork Mutt. It's something I can play. I don't have Lich-Knight's Conquest that you definitely saw. Make the misplay, please. I'm always rooting for my opponent here. The right move would be to exile Atali. Yeah. Unfortunate. Lame. Lord Skitter is lame. Confirmed. He's a very annoying card. Sticks around and just kills you. Alright. Let's go. Sack this, sack this. Let's get this stuff out of the graveyard before it becomes a problem. They might have a removal spell, but the fact that they can also clean out our graveyard makes this Terror Tide much worse. I just need it to sweep next turn. I guess I could have cast Terror Tide and killed the Lord Skitter there and then gone for a bigger Lich-Knight's Conquest. That would have been the right thing to do. That's my bad. I should have just gotten rid of the Lord Skitter before he continued to eat our graveyard. Alright, come on, opponent. Swinger. There you go. There you go. Not a card in a graveyard, just makes sure that this will do damage. Just sweep the Skitter and his friends. I just really wish Teartide also exiled, honestly. It'd be bad for like standard probably, just because then there would be another exile wrath, but I probably would make it less good in this deck because then we are also exiling our own things, but at the same time I see a tenacious underdog coming out our face in the near future, or the Shieldred. Okay, are we dead? So what I want to do is I want to play Cruelty of Gix and search for another Teartide for our next turn. But if I do that, I go to 1 life. Because they can animate the cottage and they can attack in with Shieldred in the cottage. We take 8 damage, we take 2 from Shieldred. We also lose 3 from searching our library, so we die on our upkeep. Oh, Shieldred. Never change, do you? Actually, let's just concede. Go next. We're not going to beat Golgari from this position, I don't think. This video is turning out to be a disaster, I feel like. We had one really good game and then just kind of unlucky the first 2. I mean, in terms of matchups, and then when I was playing sort of a better deck that last game and I played it poorly, I should have sweepered. We would have at least been able to get the Golta back. Alright, let's keep this hand. We have the reanimation spell we want. We have some draw discard. Playing first, that's another good place to be. Esper, okay. Do I get rid of their token here? Or do we wait? We wait until next turn. Oops, no, don't attack. We wait until next turn because then we can trigger Brass's Tunnel Grinder again with it. Actually, that's not really necessary because we're probably going to be playing Bitter Reunion anyways. I'm so glad that Fathomless Descent works so well in this deck because it's going to help us when we run into the fact that opponent's gonna have a really annoying board. And draw, discard this Golta and Maverick potentially if we want. With our blood token. We go down an artifact if we do that though. Might just wait until next turn and we'll cast our second Brass's Tunnel Grinder. Though, if we discard it now, can we triple reanimate? No. I think we have to keep it. Resolve all here. My turn. Do I discard it? Because if we want Immodane's Recruiters, Evangel, and Golta and Maverick if we can. There's some tokens we can make. I'm gonna go ahead, play that. Legend Rule our Brass's Tunnel Grinder. We'll actually just draw, discard, or discard these 2. There's a Saheeli's Lattice. That's another artifact to trigger a thing. We'll go ahead and discard the land because we'll probably draw into more. We get... Oh, wait. I forgot. It's like a good thing that it flips and a bad thing at the same time. Alright, we can still triple reanimate, so we can get Imodane's, Galta, and Zapandrel, and I think that wins. Wait, we won't have trample. We'll only have trample on our... well, we have 24 trampling damage.
Let your blade do the
Or
talking.
actually 26 trampling damage, and they just swung in, so... yeah. Good game, opponent. Oh wait, no, these are gonna flip. No! Oh wait, yeah, they drew a card. They didn't... Okay. I can just keep going back and forth whether or not I'm about to lose or not. Anything else we can sacrifice? No, so we get back Galta, Mavern, Imodanes, and Zapandrel. Zapandrel, Imodane's Recruiter, and Galta and Mavern. We'll have a bunch of damage here. Next, go to attacks. Double power and toughness, all attack. And then create a giant attacking dino and then swing at the face. Not bad. 36 trampling damage. Spreading love this Thanksgiving. Amen. I can't click. Okay, that was very satisfying. Play one more game, and then I'm gonna have to wrap it up. Yeah, this deck is alright. So of course I just seeded so many matches away. Let's see what Untap says. Untap says 50% win rate. We take those. Alright, double Blackleaves Cliffs, Scrapwork Mud. This is doable. We have a bunch of draw discards, so not impossible we draw into a bunch of it. We have the reanimation spell we want in our hand. Put Atali in the graveyard. Hope our opponent doesn't have graveyard hate. Okay, this is not looking great. I will admit, looking subpar. Non-basic land destruction. Glimpse the core. Okay, I guess we just go in with the Imodane's Recruiter. We're on the aggro plan. Psych. It was the wrong deck. Opponent playing Caves? Something like Caves. I think they're just playing creature lands / caves. Oh my goodness, thank you. Da, 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 da. Sweet. Kinda wish this was Imodane's was in my graveyard at this point. Opponent, do they have a sweeper? Yeah, they have the cave stuff. This is damage equal to the number of caves. They have 2 caves? Oh. Well, they could still sweep the board with that. It's not bad. Yikes. That card is really good for caves. That is really good for caves. Triple ramp. You're also finding all the caves they want so that next turn they can sweep. We really did not draw like we wanted. A little unfortunate. Wish just for a little bit more draw this card rather than all this other stuff. If we do have a Terror Tide though to clean up any bats that we run into. Oh, okay, well. Just go next. I can't. Graveyard hate. It's everywhere. Next turn we would have been able to reanimate at least one thing, but yeah, this is the problem that I ran into with Lich-Knight's Conquest originally, was not graveyard hate, but mostly like even next turn we would have been able to drop or like reanimation spell, but we only would have been able to reanimate one thing. Whereas in the ideal scenario, what happens is turn 2 we drop a draw discard like enchantment or artifact. Turn 3 we drop the tunnel grinder, draw discard a bunch more. Turn 4 we drop 2 draw discard like artifacts or enchantments. That's our 4 things on the battlefield, and then turn 5 we reanimate 4 things. That is like the ideal scenario. It's a little hard to pull off though, apparently, especially with like I've never run into this much graveyard hate. That is something that I've been thankful for, is not running into a bunch of graveyard hate. But it's not appearing like it's gonna go that way today. Alright. More draw discard. More big things to discard. Pretty sure the Schism, that is a cool, good card. One of those tunnel grinders would have been really nice. No such luck. End turn. My goodness. Yep. We draw, create a vampire. We take damage. I think if they order their triggers correctly, they can... Oh. Yeah, if they, depending on how they order their triggers, I think they can auto order triggers here, but ooh, how much should we pitch? Or do we Saheeli's Lattice away the Imadane's Recruiter and As much as I would like to play the Brass's Tunnel Grinder, I don't think we get enough value at it, and it would be nice to get like a little bit more defense down. There we go. We have something to block. We have some good cards in our graveyard. Now we just need the reanimation spell. Crowdwork Mutt does die here, which is kind of lame. Oh yeah, you can only activate this as a sorcery. I forgot about that. Let's stop the 2 damage. Maybe we'll find a fathomless descent here. Oh, okay. Okay. One, two, three. How much damage does that result in? Time to find out together. We're just gonna go for it. This is what we came to do. Pandrel, Imadanes, Zaruk and Gorklaw. They get +1. They get +1s. Everything has trample thanks to Zaruk and Gorklaw. We all attack. That is a lot of damage. GG's. Yeah, Lich-Knight's Conquest is a cool card. That was a good game. I love the explosiveness as of these like mass reanimate decks. Is your opponent's like, what are they doing the entire game? And then you just drop your entire graveyard onto the battlefield and swing in for lethal. Imadane's Recruiter is also just a cool card. It's like an upgraded Keldon Strike team because it buffs your entire team. Hopefully you enjoyed today's video. If you did, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. It helps out a ton. And perhaps you'll enjoy yesterday's video because, well, not yesterday's, technically longer than yesterday. Anyways, we played a try and win turn 3 deck that involved reanimation. It was a little bit more focused on speed, but you had to draw into the right cards. It was a lot of fun to play regardless. And And it was sort of similar to this one in the sense that, yeah, I just wanted to drop a bunch of things onto the battlefield, but it was built a lot more around Ghalta, Stampede Tyrant. Anyways, have a nice morning, evening, night, afternoon, wherever and whenever you're watching. Ciao.